Hey, what's going on? Xavier here, and welcome back to the channel. What if I told you the grid is lying to you? See, most designers believe that their logos are perfectly aligned, but in reality, they could be slightly off. So in this video, I'm going to show you the trick that pros use, especially in combination marks, so that your logos could fit just right, not just aligned to a ruler. Alright, so here I design a combination mark. That's when a logo, an icon logo, and type are together, and you align them using your tools to make sure they're nice and aligned, but somehow they feel like a little off. I mean, you're not crazy. It's not your design skills, it's how your eyes perceive balance. And the thing is, even though everything is technically aligned using grids and smart guides, it can still look a little off or even wrong. And that's a mistake a lot of logo designers do when making combination marks. They're trusting the math and the software instead of using their eyes. That's what we're fixing today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the difference between mathematical alignment and optimal alignment, why it's a common trap for logo designers, and how you can start seeing alignment differently so that your work could look cleaner, sharper, and more professional. All right, let's get to it. All right, so why alignment is so important. So here's the thing, our brain craves balance. When something is misaligned even a little bit, we could tell instantly. It's subconsciously. You may not realize it's happening, but your audience, they could tell in a heartbeat. A logo that's misaligned can create doubt, confusion, even distrust. Think about when you see like a picture frame that's like kind of crooked, or even like me right now in this frame, I was like in a weird angle. It's gonna feel off. Your attention's gonna get stuck on what's off, not what's being communicated. This tiny detail can have a huge impact on how designers are perceived, especially in combination mark where you're mixing a symbol and type. If the alignment is off, even by a little bit, you should ruin the whole brand impression. All right, so let's go over a couple of mistakes when it comes to aligning logos and balancing logos. So we got the Nike logo right here, and currently if you look at it, it's actually optimal align right now. Like if you take the Nike logo and you center it, where's my center? Here we go. All right, now it's center aligned. If you look at it, it looks off. And the reason it looks off, even though mathematically it's correctly aligned, is that you have so much weight on one side of the logo and then the other side doesn't have as much weight. So once you align it using the math and the software, it just looks off. Even if you go further out, you can even tell more. So that's why the Nike logo is aligned the way it is. So I'm gonna undo this. And now look at the logo and it looks right. It feels right. That's why you always have to trust your eyes over what the math is telling you. And why is that? It's because our eyes don't just measure distance, they measure visual weight. So that's something you have to keep in mind. All right, let's go over a couple of samples of logos that I've made. All right, here's this Orbit logo. It's all right logo. I can tell, like, just look at it. We have some kerning issues, but let's focus more on the optimal and the mathematical alignment for now. So one we need to do is first we want to make sure that there's some good balance between the type and the icon. So what you can do, take your rectangle tool here and let's draw a rectangle. Let's switch that out. All right, put it right about here. Let's get this up here. Let's zoom in. So remember, in typography, this any round shapes, they have an overshoot, so keep that in mind with that. So you look at the O, it has an overshoot over here, and the bottom is also overshoot. So when it comes to fonts and type that are round, you gotta consider the overshoot. See the dot right here on the eye. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, we're gonna make a grid out of using an element of the logo to make so using a piece of the logo as an element of measure. So I'm going to use Control D and duplicate one more time. Then I'm going to make another duplicate around halfway, then duplicate and one more time and one more time. Now we have our grid, and you can see right now that the icon does not really match with the typography. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to balance this out. I'm going to come down here and break it down a little bit, line up right about there, considering the overshoot. So I'll say like around here. Then the bottom, try and bring it up a little bit. Considering this is a round shape, so I'm going to consider the overshoot. go to outline mode so I can see it better. And definitely bring it down a tiny bit. Bring it down a tiny bit, like around there. Get rid of the grids real quick. And now it's nice and balanced using a grid. Let's go over another logo I have here. Now this is how I would balance a combination mark when the icon is next to the type and not on top of it, center line. So the way I did it here, I zoom in, I use the element of the type to measure the balance between the icon and the type. So what I did, I took this part of the eye and I brought it over here, around there. Probably move the icons slightly closer, zoom in, outline mode, okay, so around there. So that's another way. Use elements of your own logos to measure distance. If I feel like it's a little too tight here, let me just zoom out. I think it looks good. I like the lockup, but let's say you're doing a logo yourself and you feel like it's still too tight, then just move this over, grab this piece and make another copy, duplicate it, and actually grab the back. So let's just bring that back. The icon closer. Now I should delete these two. That was a little better, more breathing room. So use elements of your logo, use type, use the icon itself, use different elements to measure, to do your measurements. Another thing I did, I used also the type. So if I move this forward, you can see how everything just aligns with the icon and the logo. That's one way of doing it. So I'll go another example. All right, so here again, I'm gonna take the rectangle tool and I'm gonna use just the company part. Make this stroke a little smaller. Zoom in. Remember, you don't want to go all the way out when it comes to round letters, so you gotta consider the overshoot. Because you can see it here now. If you want to align this to the bottom of the M of the flat letters. You see, here's the overshoot. I'm a little too in, so let me just move that out. You'll see it again, top of these letters. Where are you? There it is. There you go. Go back here, bring that out. Again, using parts of the logo to develop my grid. After that, I'm going to duplicate it, do one more, put it in the center, and duplicate it again. And actually, this grid I actually like this grid. So I'm gonna go down here, align to the bottom, and either go to the top, consider the overshoot, and they are circular. I'm gonna consider that as an overshoot, it's a tiny bit. All right, let's see how this looks. Yeah, and that feels right to me now. Yeah, I like how that looks. Let's do one more example on this logo. So again, let's use this whole word this time to do our grid. So again, zoom in here, close in here, get it a little tighter, get it a little higher right there. Okay, let's duplicate it and then repeat that step. Let's go one more. Then let's take this one and center it, and one more should be good. All right, now that we got our grid, you can see that this needs to be a little smaller. All right, there, and close this up a little bit too. Yeah, now it feels right. Now another thing you want to check when you're doing combination marks and you're balancing out the type and the icon is check on visual weight. You know, especially when you're picking type, pick a type that matches the icon. Like this example right here. If I would have gone with a thinner icon, but a thinner type, it feels like this logo disconnected compared to this type where the thickness, the weight of each letter, it kind of matches the same weight of the icon. So keep that in mind when you're doing your combination marks and you're trying to combine type with your icon. Pick a type, pick a font that works well with your icon. You know, don't pick a skinny font like this that it just feels like there's a huge disconnect between the icon and the type. It's almost like it's two different logos combined into one, and it shouldn't feel that way. It should feel like a system. It should work together. It should work as just the icon when you need to use it, and it should work good when it's just the word mark. So make sure you pick the right combination. Make sure you pick the right combination of your type and your fonts. All right, let's go back to this logo. Now, you want to adjust the vertical alignment. Text often needs to be positioned slightly above or below the mathematical center. So let's move this text down a little bit. We're not using a grid this time. We're gonna just trust our eyes. So I want to just move this down so slightly lower. Do that again, slightly. Or I want to give like more space, more breathing room for the icon and the type. So we know we did align this to the grid, and we give a good size for the icon. Go back, turn off the grid, and just use your eyes, and you can just see now that it feels better. There's more breathing room. It still is working together. It still feels like a combination working together, but I should give a little bit more breathing room between the text and the icon, trusting my eyes and not the grid. So start with the grid, make your corrections, the size of the icon and the size of your type. Turn off the grid and then go back. Trust your eyes. It's like move the text a little bit down, man. You gotta move the icon a little bit further up. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, squirt your eyes and take a second and make your slight adjustments. This is where you separate from the good designers to the great designers. Is after they have their lockup, you just nitpick it again and again and again until you get it exactly how it's meant to be seen. All right, so here's a quick pro tip when aligning your logos instantly. If you take this whole thing, like, no, I want stroke, I don't want fill, and just put a box over it about with the entire icon. Entire combination mark. Do a box here. Do a box. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's take this whole thing and just make it small. Make it small right in the center. Make this box a little bit thinner. Not too thin. Let's make this like around there. All right, we put the logo in a box. We shrunk it down. You put it right in the center of the page. We drew a circle around it. Now step back, squint your eyes. Does it feel heavier on one side? Okay, so we drew a rectangle around a finished logo. Now step back, squint your eyes, look at it. All right, so we drew a rectangle around a finished logo. Now step back, squint your eyes a little bit. Does it feel right? Does it feel balanced, or is one side feels heavier than the other? If it's yes, then nudge elements in the logo. Slightly, maybe you gotta nudge it a little down, a little high, and then recheck. Repeat until you feel that your logo is balanced. Another trick you could do is take your logo and turn it upside down. This confuses your brain. So now we're no longer seeing text, we're seeing shapes, and this helps you see misalignments very clearly. All right, here's the bottom line. Graphical alignment is important, but it's only the starting point. True professional level design happens when you go beyond the grid and trust your eyes. Combination marks need optimal alignment because you're working with different visual weights. Remember, logos are not meant to look good on the screen. They need to feel balanced out in the real world. So try this out on your new project. You'd be surprised how polished and professional your logo started to feel. So if you ever had a logo feel off, even though it's perfectly balanced, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if you want me to make a video breaking down famous logos that use optimal alignment, drop it down in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.